Spacey Sims, and we are back with more London Detective Mysteria. And as you know from the last part, that part and this part were originally one part, but it was like almost 2 hours long. Okay, it was like an hour and 40 minutes, but like whatever. So I cut them into two parts. So I'm just doing my little intro. We're gonna hop in, and you'll obviously hear me most likely in this part being like, "This part's so long, I gotta cut it down," like freaking out because I didn't know how long it was gonna go, but you know the drill, so just ignore past Spacey and we'll just have some fun with it. So anyway, we're gonna hop back in right about now. I don't know. The next day passed in an uneventful blur. Wake up, have tea and breakfast whilst reading the paper, go to the academy and sit through lessons until it was the end of the school day. My schoolmates shuffled to leave in a regular fashion. Ugh, I can't be rounded without blushing. I must behave. You can do it, Spacey. Listen, Holmes, may I? No. I haven't finished asking. You don't need to finish. What you want is always writ upon your face. You want to assist in my current case, don't you? So you do know! Yes, let's solve it as a team. That's quite all right. Watson will be providing enough assistance for today. I don't doubt it, but if the three of us were to split the... Not three. Watson and I will be working as two. I'd rather you work as one. He mumbled with an indifference as he refused to face me. Whatever is the matter, Holmes? What's happened? Nothing, as far as you may be concerned. The problem is mine alone. Regardless, I will be concerned. Can I truly be of no help? You must have noticed that my concentration of late has been insufficient. Watson has certainly noticed. Then your situation is grave. I beg your pardon. I'm not an idiot, and I don't like your agreeing tone, Spacey. If you understand why, then you know I intend to distance myself from you presently. I want you to intend the same to me. I want you to intend the same to me. Holmes retired from the room with Watson trotting at his side. He did not grant so much as a final nod of acknowledgement. But why, Holmes? You poor thing. You're my favorite puppy, but I don't like the face you make when you feel abandoned by your owner. Marple, then you heard? The entire thing. A grandmother once remarked that love is like a flower. Tend to it and it will blossom. Leave it be and it will wither. I can think of all the times Holmes has tended to my needs, but I cannot argue if I've tended to his. He's a child, and you do well not to spoil him. You need to leave them be when they act up. You've chosen one who takes to acting up as he pleases, too. I know I wouldn't want to put in the work. I knew you would say that, but I should like to tend to our little flower if I'm able. Well then, on your head be it. My smile was stiff. Marple, who sensed my pain, could do nothing more but caress my head. Welcome home, my lady. Thank you, Pendleton. I won't be needing dinner tonight. Oh, why, you look awful. You didn't just poison, did you? Have I left you so hungry that you scrambled for filthy scraps off the floor? I just like being a little overdramatic with Pendleton. I have not and would never. Don't treat me like a stray animal. If I may offer a brazen counter, my lady, and that you've taken to wandering alone till late into the night without telling me where you're going makes you no different to one. A counter to that, I'm a young lady. I'm old enough to look after myself and would appreciate a bit more trust. To disagree with you has never failed me once in retrieving your spirit. I'll have someone prepare a warm herbal tea. Try and go to sleep early tonight. Yes, I think I will. I took the first step up towards my room before I paused from a new question. How has Holmes been? I hear he hasn't been pursuing as many cases as he is known. That isn't true. We've been solving them together. Did I mishear? Well, I'm sure you've been of great help to him. I do hope that. Oh? I've an inkling there's a bit more to that than a hope. Just a hope? That's all. So it is. And then I won't inquire further. But his latest case is making a particular commotion. He pursues the source of a letter which threatens the staff and cast of La Traviata. Really? Where did you hear that? He's like, I know all. I'm Pendleton, bitch. I know everything. It's hardly a secret, for it was in the paper just today. Inspector Lestrade is charged with investigating, and he is currently, as was written, consulting an expert in the field. This part's going to be long. I didn't think this little epilogue thing was going to be like a whole other fucking story in itself. I was planning to attend one of its performances. Oh, Holmes. La Traviata is a story of love and death. And that is that it that is co-stars. That is co-star. That's weird. Anyway, uh, Lily Langdon and Henry McDonnell, both of whose celebrity reaches far and wide, has made it a performance few would want to miss. You would be a fool to miss it, really. It's guaranteed to be a wonderful performance. But what if they were to cancel it after receiving such letters? Tomorrow, my lady. It's time you went to bed. A cold swept me. I embraced myself, to some pathetic avail, as my hands were chilled and my clothes did nothing to warm me. Here's the thing. You're to be like, look, okay, talk to me. What's going on? I'm not solving cases because I'm too wrapped up in you. So I need you to just give me a little bit of space so I can do this and, like, get my bearings moment. Okay, cool. You solve your case. I'm gonna leave you alone. You solve that. You come back. We have a little makeout session. You go solve your. It's fine. It's fine. We can work on this. But, like, she's gonna stop being like, I need you to bed. I need you to bed. And, like, he's gonna be like, just fucking tell her what you need, dude. Just fucking open up. Like, just fucking say it. Use your words, Holmes. Spacey was nowhere to be seen the next morning. I've received notice that Miss Whitley has caught a cold and won't be in attendance today. I do hope she recovers quickly, but for the rest of you, we'd best begin. I don't know if she's ever been ill with a cold. It must be a nasty one. And do you want to pay Spacey a visit later? My mind is made up, so no. Besides, the Traviata case has potential to claim countless lives. Our focus is to remain steady. And I'm aware, and I was the one who suggested you two spend some time apart, but my intent was some. I didn't want you to shut her out completely. Go see if she's well. Why is every thought or action so black and white with you? I should note the saying that if you can't solve one person, then you not be saving. You can't save one. I should note the saying that if you can't save one person, then you'll not be saving many. Yes, you're right. Enough of that look. I'll do my job as your assistant. Marple approached Holmes at the end of lessons, smacking her heels at the ground with heavy, deliberate steps, for her patience was up, and her irritation could no longer be expressed in words. She very she consciously blocked the exit. I can't read. We know this. I shall be brief. And the way you treat Spacey makes you no better than a criminal. What gives you the right to say that? My mouth, blockhead. Perhaps you're as brilliant a detective as you claim, or the truth is you're a sham because you haven't bothered to learn how half of the world's population thinks. I know perfectly well what she's thinking. Do you? I could laugh at your recent string of offenses, be they related to her or your absence of mind in general. Are you aware that in our history lesson today you had your math textbook open? I was preparing for afternoon lessons. I know all there is to know about our country's history. If only we had maths this afternoon instead of French. Truly, you've become a whole new man since you started to fancy Spacey, for better and for worse. Have I changed so completely? What part of you hasn't? I feel obliged to wish you, new man, well on your investigation. Holmes had no counter. Marple, quite finished, turned her back to him with steps considerably lighter and long hair flowing to the fresh air that resulted after a fine venting. Here's the thing, she's like, you're treating her like crap and you've totally changed because you're an idiot now. I just feel like that's going to make him be like, you're right, I've totally changed. I need to break up with her and go about being my same self. I don't think that's helping. He looks total. Is it just, seriously, what is the deal with Watson? Why does he look so fucking different? What happened in the past few months? Like, Watson, did you just hit a growth spurt? Like, what? Isn't it? Doesn't he look totally different? Like, in the school uniform thing? Like, this, everything about him so different. I don't understand. It's confusing me. It's like he's totally drawn by someone else. I don't understand. She's got you, Holmes. If she were interrogating me the way she just did you, I'm not sure I would have lasted 5 seconds. I know I've changed, but I don't need anyone else telling me. Watson shrugged. He overheard Akechi and Kobayashi were interested in visiting in their stead. Would you like to accompany them, Holmes? You still want to work? Yes, we're going to Albert Hall. Let's go. What if your face is the only one she wants to see? Resolving this case is more prudent. I said let's go. All right. After you, then. It pains me to turn you away at the door, but Lady Whitley has been feeling unwell. Would it be impolite of me to request to return another day? And not in the least. If you would please give our regards to Miss Whitley. And give her those notes from class, too. Absolutely. I will do so later. Holmes has been just cruel to her. I'm worried, you know. Now, what about this? I'll court her. She would swoon over me, and he'll go absolutely mad with jealousy. Good idea? And that's liable to make the situation worse. And remember, Kobayashi, should your intentions be true, please ask me for permission before you try anything. Pendleton, those eyes could slice a chap in half. Save me, Akechi. I love Pendleton. I just want to leap into the game and just squeeze him and just hold him and just be like, I love you so much. I just want to like rub my head and just like, you're so cute. I just want to hold him and like snuggle myself up to him like, I love you. Pet him a little. You're so precious. Before he like stabs me. You reap what you sow. I'll call overcoming life's trials by your own hand another form of training. No! Phew. Thank God Pendleton believed me being ill. It's nearly 6, but it won't be dark for a while longer yet. Off I go. Oh, girl. I took caution when I sneaked out of the mansion, after which I gathered my skirts and ran as quickly as I could to Albert Hall next to Hyde Park. If they're serious about this, they'll set the explosives when the coast is quiet. And the best time is going to be during dress rehearsals and the like, when very few would be coming and going. I suspect outside contractors would be among them. Why, though? Why would anyone want to do this awful thing? Why kill so many innocents? It's likely the work of the IRA. Holmes! You're a fool. What made you think to come to a place like this alone? Because... He spoke to me. He was speaking to me. Speaking in that rude manner so natural to him, of course, but... Oh, who cared? I hadn't realized how sorely I missed him until my heart was singing by the melody of his voice. You said you'd rather I work as one, so here I am, working alone. True, I did say that. I should have known what would happen. Perhaps I'm the bigger fool. How could he speak of himself this way? I don't mean to interrupt, but now isn't the time to reflect on what-ifs and should-haves. Watson stood behind him, a bitter smile telling me all I needed to know. Now was not the time to turn on the tap. I managed a fast, indelicate blotting of my eyes and nose with the sleeve of my blouse. Right, of course. The case is our highest priority. Short-sighted bomb threats, acts of terror that could lead to the loss of many, both are hallmarks of the Irish Republican Army. They do have a history of similar unspeakable acts. Whatever it takes to break free from the United Kingdom feels like. Indeed, Professor Moriarty has Irish ancestry as well. What? Is that true? Father told me, and just thought I would mention it since he and my father have a history. If we can find proofs that the IRA's involvement, we can be quick to narrow down our suspects by their physical features. What about the reporter over there, then? His hair's dark. Looks like an Irishman to me. Hey! Irish people have red hair, green eyes, and look like leprechauns. Everybody knows this, Watson. Just kidding. The reporter is unlikely to be suspected. They could say they're present for research on an article, and it would be no trouble at all to disguise a bomb within their camera equipment. It's premature to suspect any man on the street simply because he's a reporter. If you two have considered it immediately, wouldn't the Yard and their many officers at the building consider something similar? The logic is hardly obtuse. You're right. The culprit would know this just as well. They would never be so transparent with explosives. Then why put us on track of speculating the IRA at all? No, don't misunderstand. I do think this case involves the IRA. What I question, however, is why someone would come in with the bomb now when it's more likely to already have been planted. What? But when? And how did they manage to get in the hall? Why bring it inside when it's easier to achieve the same results from outside? There are gas pipes spread beneath the building. Using those with even a small explosive would cause irreparable damage. A bomb under the building? Of course. I don't want to imagine the damage done. In fact, They may have chosen Albert Hall because of this convenience. They connect to Hyde Park, so one needn't set foot on the premises to set any bomb. And then we've no time to waste. We need to hurry. This is it. London and Westminster Gaslight and Coke Company, it says. Is that long name printed on every gas pipe? It was these pipes which gave birth to the British Empire's Industrial Revolution, although they also gave birth to the smog that's caused many an issue. The path before us was pitch black. Its air was rife with dust that itched our throats and haunted by a dankness that made breathing an effort. There was the subtle impression that something, whatever something, could jump at us without warning. I braved this path against my instincts, fingers gripped to Holmes' arm to keep my creeping fears steady. Oh, what am I doing? We weren't in a position for any sort of intimate touching, fear or bliss. I let go when he responded by taking my hand. His grip was eager but delicate, but he kept his gaze forwards into the blackness rather than to me. Take care where you walk. The earthquake that would sweep London if you were to trip may destroy the hall before the bomb. He let go, but to have him be the one to act, brief as it was, and however crude he was in his brevity, encouraged me. Wait, do you hear something? Yes. I can't tell where it's coming from with the way it echoes off the walls, but I do hear it. It's quite a regular sound. Like a clock, it's a bomb. Tick, tick, tick. A rhythmic, inorganic ticking delivered through a quiet echo brought gooseflesh to my skin. I strained through the dark to find its source. Look! Over there! He pointed to a small shadow. It moved. The something that clicked was on its back. It's a fucking... They put it on a mouse? How do they know the mouse isn't gonna run out? God only knows why they would fix it to a rat. I wonder if that was upon the professor's insistence. The sewer rat struggled and panicked to fit itself between the pipes with an additional tiny explosive tied to its back. And there's a pocket watch next to the bomb. It reads 11:40. The curtain rises in 20 minutes. It's likely designed so when the hands overlap, current will run through and set the bomb to explode. A poor rat. I mean, like, rats are gross, but, like, I mean, like, you can have pet rats, but I'm talking about, like, sewer rats. They're fucking gross. And, like, you know, like, wild rat. Like, no. But, like, that poor thing, I still feel bad for it. Like, but the bomb is so small. The explosion resulting would be like a feather to skin at most. Like lava to the skin, really. The gas in these pipes will be all a small bomb requires to turn monstrous in size. Well, I wish they hadn't resorted to sending a rat to its death for their dirty work. How are we to catch it? It was only about the size of a man's fist, and the bomb itself was slightly smaller. But as Holmes illustrated, the bomb's size meant nothing to the damage that could be done. We had to follow this bomb closely, carefully, as its fat body scampered about with surprising agility through the darkest and most complex portions of the passage's design. Well, until it tries to get into a hole and then it gets stuck and then you grab the bomb and cut it off, you know. We could keep up with it, but only just. How lucky the two of us happen to have some introduction to catching lab mice. Watson! It was just a joke. I should say you're right. We are lucky. We have our Disney princess jellyfish hair. What? How so? Do you think I was ignorant of your hobby, Mr. Rat Sniper? Hobby? Wait a minute. I have only done so in well-lighted places where I can see the little things, I'll have you know. Will you shoot at rats? Dude, Watson, that's cold. What bizarre nickname is that? Rat Sniper? He has the talent of our exact needing. Or to be precise, he's made the mice his partners in training. He uses them to improve his aim. Then he should be able to hit such a small target with ease. Our Disney princess, who just sits there and like all the little deers and bunnies and birds come to him, just shoots mice? Dude, Watson, what the fuck? Everybody's got a fucking cold side. Holmes has got a bitchy attitude and our Disney princess murders like mice and rats. Dude, what the? Oh, Watson. I think that hurts me more than thinking Jack the Ripper is stabbing people. Like, Like, look, cute little lab mice and stuff, and like mice can be cute, but like not when they're in your fucking house. Like those motherfuckers need to die. But I wouldn't shoot them. Put poison in the walls. I don't have to know. You know what I mean? Like people like sticky traps. No, then you see the poor thing suffering. Like poison. He takes it back into the wall and it dies, and you can just pretend you didn't murder it. Like, you know what I'm saying? I'm not gonna shoot them. And besides, he's our Disney princess. Why is he shooting animal? Oh, trauma. Ahem. Animals love him so that he has no shortage of partners that would risk death for his adoration, I suppose. That's even worse! Pain just grew. Don't say that. I love animals, but I'm not particularly fond of rats. It's less for sport and more for exterminating them. But I confess, it's worked miracles in my aim. But none of those were in a room full of gas pipes. I could very well hit one of those. This passage is dark. It has no shortage of places to hide. Pray, tell me if you have another suggestion for hitting a moving target. Watson gulped. Seconds were precious now. Each click indicated we were closer to the hour when the clock's hands would meet. I just feel really bad about this. All right, I'll do it in one shot. Please. I know my way around a gun, but not nearly to your extent. It won't be a moment. Steadily from his bag, he removed his weapon. The breath he took to compose himself beforehand was long and deep. He took aim. Holmes and I made not a single movement as we watched. Plus, you're trying to... Okay, not only are you trying to shoot a rat, that's a small target, but he's good at it, in a dark place, so that makes it harder. So it's a moving target. Well, a moving target. Okay, he can do that. But it's in a dark place. Okay, that's bad. Surrounded by gas pipes that he could accidentally hit. That's bad. The rat also has a bomb strapped to it, so your target is even smaller because here's the rat, and half of its body is covered by a bomb. So as not to hit the bomb, you've got to hit just the rat. So that just makes... Fuck, Watson! Damn. I mean, the fact that he's probably going to hit this is amazing. Holmes and I made not a single movement as we watched. This part's going to go long, I told you. Was it nerves that caused me to sweat? Was it the damp air? Both? It must have been nerves, for my nails were imprinted painfully into my palms as we waited for the gun to fire. Click, click, click. The clock was ticking. No, it's tick, tick, tick. Click is not... Clocks don't click, they tick. Tick, 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 tick. That's what it should have said. A piercing pop perforated through the passage, followed by the sound of contact being made. The hit was metal on metal. Oh, fuck. Moments later, the hiss of gas leaking from a pipe. Watson! As all color drained from my face, there was another pop. Another shot. This one met its target. Oh, did you hear the mouse? Eek! Oh, I feel so bad. The one skittish rat and the bomb dropped. Oh. Phew. Well done. A smart choice to miss deliberately with that first shot. You knew? I wanted it to move away from the pipes to avoid hitting them myself. So you planned that? The panic you had me in. Your panic is still apt. The timer is still active. Miss Whitley, cover the pipe's hole with your handkerchief and we'll recover the bomb. So, it's a metal pipe, but I'm going to put a handkerchief over it and the gas isn't going to leak out my handkerchief. That's not how... Oh, all right, sure. That's not how gas works, but okay. All right. I'll return and telephone Scotland Yard. Why do you look so flustered, Holmes? No reason. I heard 2 shots. One of which was a deeper pitch to Watson's gun. Or so I imagined. He was a perfect shot, but I have reason to believe a second one made contact with a spot not far away. What could it have been if not another gun? It baffles me. Like Holmes, I was preyed by my imagination. Something moved further in the passage, but I did not see what. Was it heard? Sensed? I strained my eyes for an answer, but my only findings were more darkness. It's fucking probably Pendleton. The curtain rose for La Traviata's premiere without incident. Scotland Yard was less than impressed by the hole in the pipe, but this was a minor quibble. To know that lives were saved through the efforts of 3 young detectives was a more attractive point of discussion. Holmes and Watson's efforts saw them to the front page of the paper. Perhaps that was what led to the play's remaining days being performed before a full house. I went to see the last night of La Traviata. What a show! And it was your teamwork that permitted me to enjoy it. Why not just me, but all of London? Mm-hmm. There's no better assistant out there than me. With the exception being you, of course. Your credit was overdue. It was only when I observed you two on the case that I realized Holmes's inactivity of late. And I'm certain I'm the source. And the source was never you, but always me. Anytime we're together, no matter the situation, I can't seem to relax. He's completely lovesick. Our very own Herlock Holmes. See the blush? That rosy innocence. Shut up, Watson. Keep your mouth shut, I say. Shut it is. I'll be going on a lengthy errand so you two can take your time. Watson then retired from the office with a skip and a playful wink. Catching mice. Wink, wink. He used air quotes. Catching mice. It was the first time since the case began we had been alone. It was a terrible silence, a terrible longing on my end without any idea on what to do with it. And what about him? I should leave as well. Pardon all the trouble. Wait. Holmes took my hand and pulled me back to him. Okay, this is just this look on her face. Her eyes too big and she just looks goofy as shit, but he looks pretty. I want you to stay just a bit longer. I thought I might stop breathing. His voice was so close to my ear, so low a whisper and so crippled with vulnerability. What he expressed weakly, but the desperation he showed through his grip on my arm revealed a deeper strength. He kept me where I stood, not through any effect of violence, but quite favorably, and so I waited in anticipation for his next move. But there was none. Was he waiting for me? But I had no words to provide. I wanted to think, but my head was blank. Through slowly parting lips did I hope to provide a response, but there was no reply between them. I didn't want to see him in pain. I didn't want to know I was the reason for it. Why could I say nothing? Comfort him! Let him know! Speak! No, don't cry! You mustn't cry! Oh my god! He's the one that pins us to a wall. There you go. Didn't Jack also pin us to a wall? I'm just saying. We've been pinned to a wall a couple times, I think, in this game. I've been miserable. All I do is think of you, and it stops me from doing anything else. I'm half the person I was, having only finished half my work through half my usual speed. This has never happened to me before. I don't know what to do, Spacey. I wish I didn't make you miserable. I say I want to help, but if I'm with you, all I do is make it worse. That's not... Holmes, I'm so sorry. That's right. Shut her up with a kiss. I couldn't finish. He stopped me with the kiss of one I had been deprived. Don't apologize. But... I know I'm the reason for your tears. But I beg you, don't cry, Spacey. To just kiss me was not enough. He closed the gap between us with an unreserved neediness that demanded my attention go solely to him. My heart labored twice, 3 times over from how close we were. I was safe, and yet I could still not, and yet I could not stand still. Oh my god. This is the longest fucking chapter. Like, we could have stopped and done this in a whole other part. I'm sorry. I figured it would wrap up at this point. Oh, we solved the case. We're done. But it's going to be like it's going to be 2 hours long. And then if I have to cut it into 2 parts because it's longer than the next 5 minutes, then I will. And you'll obviously have known because I'll have to do an intro and an exit for the, whatever. But as of right now, it's 1 part. I don't know. I'm always thinking of you. Every time something happens, whatever the occasion, you're the first to come to mind. I'm always thinking of you because I love you. And I love you too, Holmes. My fevered whispering vanished into nothing. His hands tugged at my hips to bring us closer. Well, as flushed as I was from my heart racing, I loved the feeling of his beating with the same intensity against my chest of his beating it. Oh. You aren't going home today. Well, I have missed you. Good. When he didn't kiss my lips, he lingered close enough that I felt his warmth. I wish he would kiss me. I wanted him to kiss me again. Girl. I threw my arms over his shoulders and pulled him to me. The thudding of my heart spread to my cheeks, sent butterflies to my stomach, sent a radiant fire throughout me. Holmes was so good at sending me to places that made my head spin, so perfect with the way he kissed and clinged to me that it made me want nothing more than to answer all his wishes. I could concentrate on nothing but him. Watson's going to be gone for a long time. That's what I'm saying. He's like, oh my God, is she not lefty? The next day, he's like, I've been sitting outside the whole time. To support both myself and the way I wanted him was too much. When my arms loosened and my knees buckled, he caught me, carried me, and he lay me against the bed. Oh God, I don't want to read this! There I was, a blushing girl of 16, struck by the luck I had to lose myself into the eyes of such clarity. And he, a blushing boy of 17, brushed his hand against... Why do we have to tell our ages? Because it makes it so much creepier. We're watching inappropriate things. It's even worse. And brushed his hand against my cheek and tangled his fingers into my hair to show me all the ways in which he was grateful to cherish me. I don't want to read this. I loved him. I really, absolutely, with all my being, loved him. That I loved him so brought me to weep. And before my tears could fall to the bed, he caught them for me. Holmes. He kissed me again. I didn't know how long we spent like this. I don't know when we stopped. I just knew he was there as I was eased into a comfortably warmth. A comfortably warmth? A comfortable warmth? Tonight, I never want to leave your side. I want to feel what it's like to have you beside me. Oh, God, that's not what you're talking about, and I don't want to read that. Please don't make me read that. We're still young, you know. We have so many years ahead of us before we're no longer ignorant of this world. And even then, He drew me to him as he lay down next to me. Oh. Even then, I'm sure I'll still be half a man. Would you wait for me, Spacey? Would you be willing to wait till I'm a man worthy of taking your hand? I'll wait as long as it takes. The softness of his voice, his kindness, the poignancy of his musings, all of these served to warm my heart. In the most wonderful synchrony did we, content to sink into the company of just one another, at last close our eyes and drift to sleep. Yeah, sure. There was no sleeping involved. Oh, fucking A! You could have just ended it. I can't. This part is killing me. I love this, but I have an anxiety because we're like fucking 25 minutes over time because this fucking thing won't end, and it's stressing me out. Like I'm stressed. Like I'm like, oh my God, just end. And I don't want to rush it, but it's like I feel fucking guilty that this part is this fucking long. I mean, we've gone an hour and 20 minutes before, like at the end part, but I swear we're gonna have to cut it because there's no fucking way this thing's gonna end. It's stressing me out. I know it shouldn't because I can just cut it, but it still stresses me out. Anyway. I next opened my eyes as the natural light of morning peered inside to greet us. Holmes would still be sleeping, I suspected, and that he was, with me in his embrace, holding me like something far too precious, holding me like something not even drifting into the somehow not even drifting into the unconscious mind could make him forget I was there. What a position to be in! A sheepish anxiety overtook me. I motioned to wriggle free, but he only tightened his hold. Aww. Although she looks derpy as shit, but I'm still confused why there's a B on her necklace, but stay a bit longer. B for basement. Basement door that's magically there and you don't know where the key is. It's on your neck. He refused to let go. He whispered into my ears with a tired grumble. Good morning. Did you sleep well? Like a baby. I'm glad. We don't need to have this conversation. You had a perfect place to end it. When silence followed, I met his eyes, which were still in the haze of being half asleep. You really won't permit me to help with your cases? I should love to permit you to do anything you want, but this one thing I can't. My assistant is very capable, as you already know, and to have you with me makes it difficult to concentrate on work. You're still saying that, are you? He tried his best, like a stubborn child, to stifle a yawn, an adorable sight I would not soon forget. Holmes, are you still tired? I've never been a morning person. And then we're alike. The bed hugs me in such a way that I want nothing more than to fall asleep again. Pendleton is probably going fucking out of his mind. It's really sad that that's what I'm worried about. I'm reluctant to agree, but so we are. I have no desire to embrace my bed. No desire to embrace my bed, however. You let Tim type this shit. I'd rather fall asleep embracing you. Holmes? I'm not snoring, but he's snoring. Okay. How convenient that you would fall asleep after saying that. Look at her face, the little... do, I suppose. Good night, Holmes. It was all so awkward. It couldn't have pleased me more. With a subtle contentment coursing, I stayed precisely where I wanted to be and watched his sleeping face. Holmes awoke several hours later. Fuck my life! Okay, I'm cutting this. I'm cutting this into 2 fucking parts because this is never gonna fucking end. And I'm like, it's literally like I am so like the anxiety and the stress is like, why won't this? It's not because I want it to end. You know what I mean? It sounds like I'm like, oh my god, I'm so bored. I'm not. I love it, but for fuck's sake, like, it's an epilogue. It shouldn't be 3 hours long. Like, okay. In any other game, if you get an epilogue and it's like 2 minutes, you're like, well, what the fuck was that? But in this one, you're like, it's literally like it's the same length as the fucking like like the 6 chapters that he had. What the fuck? Like, normally I wouldn't complain, but like, okay, note to self, do the epilogues as their own fucking part. Because they're like an hour long, which normally wouldn't be bad, but I should have cut this, but I was like, well, it'll only be a few minutes. Half an hour later. So this is obviously cut into 2 parts by now by the time you've seen it, because what the fuck? Because, like, we can't have a 2-hour-long part. I love you guys, but not that much. Like, if I'm going to sit here for 2 hours, I'm getting 2 parts out of this shit. It was a strange thing. He distinctly recalled Spacey sleeping in his arms, but there was no one in the bed but him. He didn't dream it, surely. Now that wasn't it. He felt like a fool as he became more lucid. She must have gone without saying goodbye, but this idea left him with a lurking loneliness he would have preferred to bid away. Oh, Holmes, come quickly! Come now, you're still asleep. This isn't the time for sleeping. A new detective agency is opening 1 floor down. A competitor? As direct as they come, and the one running it is...
Hello, hello! Up I knock! I have a new tenant to introduce. Come along in.
A little bonnet popped itself in the frame, Hudson, and she ushered in another person as soon as she made herself known. But who? It's fucking us. Good day! I'm your new downstairs neighbor. Perhaps we've met. Met? Met my foot. When did you decide this? You were in my bed just before. Oh, hi. Oh, your bed. I misspoke. When she was making my bed, she was kind enough to assist me in some domesticating after our lab rat disaster.
You're the disaster. You are not her master, and she is not your domestic here to clean after your messes.
That's a terrible way to think of her.
I, for one, am delighted that you've started your own agency, Spacey. I'll do what I can to help as your assistant. Stay on your toes, boys. Shan't drop your rent by a penny, so you might want to consider a new career for when we steal your clients.
Fucking love her. I know I was like, she's kind of irritates me, but you know, she's really grown on me fast. It's really just the voice I gave her irritates me to do, is what it is. It's not her, but... when in God's name is this happening? I brought some cakes as a moving-in gift of sorts. My assistant has made some tea also.
Yes, if you're equal to it, let's all enjoy some quality tea time. We can discuss the details of Langdon's case since we're here. Not at all why I'm here, of course.
All right, I'll clear the table. I don't start moving things without my say. And since the subject has presented itself, I'm impressed Pendleton approved of this. Oh, he didn't approve anything. I'm the head of my house. He doesn't get to decide what I do. I can't believe you said that with a straight face. Heavens. I'm the head of my house. He doesn't get to decide what I do. He's going to be so fucking pissed, but I'll deal with it later. Holmes hung his head in his hands. I was almost starting to agree when you said it would do us good to keep our distance. But then I thought we could still be close, but we need something else to stimulate our minds the way we did when we first met. A rivalry will do. You have the most adoring expression when you become shy, but I love the side of you that spares no effort for your work. And you really cannot afford to spare effort now I'm here. One misstep and I'll surpass you in no time.
That's my girl. You can't stop us.
More revelations, more changes. It was all a fair amount to take in. He groaned, but in a happy sort of way. And the second I think I have you figured out, you turn all my expectations on their head. Never have I met so unpredictable a young lady as you. Yet you still pursue this very young lady. one of your mysteries waiting to be solved. The most enticing one, to be sure. My tastes are such that I'll never tire of trying to solve it. And as he took my hand, he smiled. As a fair warning, dear rival, I'll not be merciful. I work hard, and that will not change with you downstairs. If you want to take on one of London's greatest detectives, then you'd best have the energy for it. Oh, I have the. Oh, you meant like detective rival. Okay, I was thinking something else that I don't want to read, but I still want you to infer we did, but I don't want to read it. Like, I'm like, oh, let's get to the sexy times, and then we like, I have to read. I don't want to read these. I don't want this. I don't want to like. I'm just saying. Of course, I know full well how you are. I love the sexy rivalry, though. This is great. And this is where it's going to end, despite the fact that I was like, Julie, like, I'm cutting this! All right, whatever. Still cutting it. May their future be one of bliss. Seriously, what the fuck? I was like, God damn, it's going so long! Okay, it really was. We'll go now and look at his gallery. Well, we shouldn't look at his gallery until after we've done the bad ending. I wonder if it's full. No, we're missing some. We're still missing a couple. So I'm assuming those are in the bad ending. We'll look at what we have, and then we'll just look at those when we go through, so we'll do his thing again. So how do you... Oh. Oh, that sucks. You can't go... You can't click to the next one. That sucks. That's all right. But I do like... I wish you could, like... I like it when they have you click one of the right buttons to go to the next thing, but then you also click this one to change. So I like that, but... You know what I mean? But anyway, we're going to look through these. I am going to cut this part into 2, so this will be just a... I'll cut the other one a little under an hour, and then this one will be a little over 30 minutes, like, whatever. So I'll just have to find a logical place to do it, because otherwise this is just too fucking long. It's like almost an hour and 45-minute part. Okay, so we're missing that one, so we'll get that one in the next one. Look at the look on his face! I love that! I love that look. He's like, God damn it, Watson. We can also go through all of these again when we get the bad ending. So we can go through all of these again. So, like, we technically should have done I love that face. That's adorable. Because we're going through them kind of fast, but, you know what I mean? We've seen them all, so. I do love this because, like, I didn't notice the whole time if his eyes were like that purple color where we should have noticed that Holmes's eyes were wrong. I'm sure somebody's told me if they noticed. I don't know. I cannot wait for the Lupin path. But we're going to do it in the suggested route order where we'll do Watson next. But obviously in the next part, we'll come back and we'll start going through Holmes's bad ending. So that might be long because... Well, we don't have to... There's no other... The last chapter is the only thing that's different. But we have to go through and skip through and do a lot of things. And we're going to do what the guide says. Yes, we got to do all the wrong choices. So, I mean... So we might see a little bit of different scenes. I don't know. Like, steamy. I can't. I liked when the epilogue started this way. Like, you know what I think is funny? Like, he's like, I distinctly heard and something. I guarantee you it was fucking Pendleton. But they don't tell you that. They don't say it was Pendleton like ever, but I guarantee you it was Pendleton. Her eyes are like so big. Look at that. Look, there is something seriously wrong. Okay, first of all, her head bulges out right here. Do you see that in her eye? So it just makes, like, just if you hide this, it doesn't look as weird, but it looks really weird the way, like, her eye, like, that's not the way, the shape of face. That's so awkward. It's so freaking awkward. It's supposed to be probably the shadow and everything, but it just looks really weird. But, I love the little, like, this is the perfect one to end on. So we're going to leave it here. Okay, so again, I'm going to cut this into 2 parts. So as you guys have probably already noticed, but obviously as I'm recording it, it was just 1 part. So, you know, you'll be listening to me for like, it's stressing me out. It's too long. Obviously, you know, it's cut. Maybe. I don't know. We'll see what I do. I don't know. It's an hour and 40 minutes, this part. So, like, I'm probably going to cut it. But just in case I didn't, at least you know that I didn't. And then if this is a 45-minute part and the other part's like whatever, then you know that I cut it. Like, I don't know. We'll say whatever. Like, I have to cut this because it ran too long, and then I'll start this one and be like, I'm sorry that I freak out about it being too long, but it's obviously not, and it's because I cut it. So, you know by now this happens sometimes. So, anyway, because like, look at how many times I've like literally done it. I'm like, we'll end this here because it's gonna go long, and the next we click 2 things and it's the end of the chapter, and I'm like, well, we could have just done that extra minute, but I can't. I'm not. Sometimes I'm really good at cutting it in the right spot. Sometimes I'm just not. I'm just not in this game. Like, I just don't know what to expect. So, anyway, I will see you guys next time, and we will do start doing Holmes's bad ending. I don't know if we'll be able to do it in 1 part or not. So, I will see you guys next time. Remember to give the video a big thumbs up and subscribe to see more.